You know what I'm saying? I get confused. All right. Don Carter, Kamal Tate, Rashad Tate. Three successful black men. Unfortunately, one of them didn't quite make it. Here lies Kamal Tate, NYPD's finest, taken out by what we can only assume is a Russian. Rashad Tate finally shows up. We haven't seen him in so many episodes. It's been so long. We don't know where he's been. Been so long. Tate been gone. So please show me what it is that you want to see. He shows up and these mother, they got my brother, man. Come on. You didn't deserve that, man. Whoever did this, I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna get them niggas. Don, what information do you have? Who are the niggas that did this to my brother? Man, I can't tell you. That's an open investigation, Rashad. I'm sorry, Congressman. Fuck that. You know I was blue. I was one of you. Kamal's my better half. Who the fuck did this? Tell me. So I could put some resources in the street. So I could put some hits on some. Oh, did I say hits? Think I could put some resources in the street so I could contact the chief of police. Who do I need to contact? Tell me something. Don, tell me something. Now, Don is hesitant on giving any information because allegedly he's the one that popped Kamal Tate. Now, I'm not sure if I remember who shot Kamal Tate or how he was killed, but I think it was some thugs that shot him. Don is telling Rashad, listen, all right, hold on. We do have some leads. It might potentially be some Russians, but don't tell anybody what I'm telling you right now. Rashad said, fuck that. These niggas gonna pay, man. That's my brother. He's like, I understand that, but listen, we are working. It's an active investigation, and we're not gonna stop until we bring down who actually did this to your brother. Now, I'm sure we'll find it. He said, listen, I need to be the first person you contact. You hear me? You hear me? You need to contact me. ASAP. Now, I didn't know what ASAP meant as a kid, but as an adult, I know it means as soon as possible. Now, when they say as soon as possible, I don't know if they mean pull a trigger, kill a nigga, call the, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if they mean pull the trigger, killer, and then call the ambulance and then contact him. But I think ASAP means right after the gun is smoking, call me. Don't call somebody else. Call me. So Rashad Tate doesn't really know what's going on. He's just believing what Don is saying at this point. And if you haven't been around, you wouldn't know that Don is dirty. So all you can do is go off of his word. So Rashad was doing his own investigation. He's thinking, okay, well, if it was a Russian, maybe it's retaliation. Maybe they came after him after a bust or whatever. And Don, he's like, damn, this nigga's getting close too. Fuck. Damn. All right. There's a Russian. We're gonna get him off. We're gonna get him off the street. Don over here stuttering and shit. So from there, Don goes and talks to the damn crew. He goes and talks to the task force. He's like, all right, listen up, niggas. Bring it in. We need to open investigation on the Russians, man. Let's just be real. We got to go follow the Russians, man. They did something. Felicia's like, when have you ever cared about what's going on? He's like, shut up, Felicia. Shut up. Nico's like, man, the Russians, they all scattered. He's like, nah, fuck that. We need to open it up. Now, no one knows what Don Carter's plan is. Don is just thinking of how to cover himself because he was out here wilding out. Now, I believe that Don Carter knows the thug that killed Kamal Tate. I believe that Don Carter has a trail and some evidence leading to whoever the killer of Kamal Tate is. And what he's telling his task force to do is start digging, finding any Russians that are still around. Nico's like, nah, they all got away. But Don Carter, he's not no slouch. He's the detective. He's the head detective. My bad. Let me apologize. He's the head detective of this task force. So he's like, y'all need to go out there and find out who did this shit. We need to find who this thug is. Everybody in the chat put find the thug. Everyone in the chat put find the thug. We need to find who this criminal is. Searching high, searching low, searching behind the door, searching behind the couch. We need to find who the thug or Russian mobster is that put that bullet in Kamal Tate. And we're not going to stop on my channel until we get to the bottom of it. All right? That's what we're doing on my channel. You can go to other people's channel. They gonna lie to you. What's the new term that they be saying? They gonna yap to you. We're gonna find out who the thug was that did that to Kamal Tate. We're not gonna let Rashad Tate walk around here moaning and groping about his brother being unalive because that criminal, that murderer, is still out on the streets. It could be Diana because we know she kills cops. So Diana is suspect number one. We're not letting that slide. Kane, suspect number 2. Remember that guy Ramirez? Tariq, suspect number 3. You remember there's a guy named Junior? So there's some cop killers out there, and we're not letting this slide. Don Carter is on the case. So I believe wholeheartedly that Don Carter is going to be able to execute this efficiently and effectively and let Rashad Tate know that that criminal will not, I repeat, will not be hurting anyone else. So right now, Don goes into his room and he's thinking real hard. Don's thinking real hard. Y'all know who killed Kamal Tate? How will we find the killer of Kamal Tate? Oh, this is tough. Who killed Kamal Tate? Who in their right mind would take Tate out? It's got to be the Russians. We did the bust on the dock. We did the raid in the restaurant. So maybe they seen Kamal's face and they ran away and tried to get you. Who did this? Who is bold enough to kill a NYPD officer? Damn it. Who would do this? What is it, Nico? What? I'm thinking. Hey, just a heads up. We might have a lead, but I don't think it's gonna be the Russian. Fuck all that. It's got to be the Russian. That's the only person on my radar is the Russians. Nico, where were you at last night? You know what? Like between me and you, have a seat. Have a seat. So between the hours of 9 p.m. and midnight, where were you at last night, Nico? Talk to me. Like this is just man to man. I'm not your supervisor, but where were you at last night? Now I know you and Tate, you had your spats, you had your back and forths. Now I'm not accusing you of anything, Nico, but I have to ask these questions. As the supervisor, I had to ask these questions. But as I told you, let me take this badge off. Let me get rid of this paperwork too. Y'all didn't think I had that paperwork on me, did y'all? Let me put this paperwork down. Let me go ahead and remove all of this. Just man to man. You didn't have anything to do with this. Because it seems like you're tiptoeing around the investigation that I told you to open up on these Russians. Where were you at between the hours of 9 and midnight? Or should I say 2100 and 0? Where were you at, Nico? Because I know you and Tate, y'all didn't see eye to eye. And there's been speculation that you've been stealing money. You know, Kamal Tate came to me prior to the incident of his unalive, and he told me that you were stealing money, Nico. Where's the police report for that? Why didn't you break us off with some of that money? Where's the money at, Nico? Did you have something to do with this? You can tell me. I got your back. If anyone has your back, it's me. I'm fucking Don Carter. So just did you have something to do with it? All right. Well, if you saying no, then open up the case on the Russians, see if any of them stinkers are around here, and let's get to it. Let's get to it. We got to get Rashad Tate the answers that Rashad Tate wants. We're gonna find this criminal. It's what 9:50 in the morning. We're gonna find this fucking criminal today, not tomorrow. Today. So get to it, Nico. Get the file. Let me know where they hiding out. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Let's go. So right now, Nico did steal the money. So we got a fourth suspect. Nico, if we had a new board, we put Nico on that damn suspect board. We could put Rico. We could put Nico on the Rico. Because that's what I'm looking at now. I know for a fact that Kamal seen Nico stealing. And then all of a sudden, Kamal Tate ends up dead. So Don Carter, he heard that there was a dirty cop on his task force. So he has to take that in consideration. That's why he had to ask Nico these questions. Nico, what did you do last night? Do y'all believe that Nico could have something to do with this? In y'all honest opinion, do y'all think that Nico has something to do with this? Because I'm baffled. I don't know. I don't know who I could trust right now. The streets is a dirty game. The streets is a dirty game. And I'm looking at Nico like, why aren't you looking at the Russians? Exactly. Nico didn't like Tate. Suspect. Sounds suspect to me. Sounds suspect to me. You feel me? But that's all we can go off of right now. Kamal Tate, we're going to find it. We're going to find who did this. See? Look. We putting it together. Nico didn't like Tate. Nico did take the money. It's looking like Nico was a prime suspect. Nico is looking like a prime suspect right now. I wouldn't put it past him. But Don Carter goes up and meets with Monet. Now they out on the dock. Now, if you remember, this photo came out early. When they first announced that Michael Ealy was on here, this is this scene here. Now, I didn't think it was going to take us 7 episodes to see it. But this is this. And Monet's like, listen, you had that beef, Felicia stomped my daughter out. He's like, what? Felicia did who? She stomped my daughter out and my daughter was pregnant. He's like, oh, wait a minute. I wouldn't authorize that. Now, Don Carter is an upstanding police officer. Like when we think of Don Carter, we're thinking of Carl Winslow. We're thinking of like all the greats. You know what I mean? We're thinking of all the legitimate cops. You know what I'm saying? Mike Lowry, Carl Winslow, RoboCop. Like we wouldn't think that Don Carter would authorize Felicia to stomp out Diana because we know he didn't. But Monet's like, man, Felicia fucked my daughter up. He's like, what? He's like, I wouldn't do that. And she's like, well, this is what you need to do. Monet got them boots on too. Don Carter knows she keep that Thule in there. And what is Monet doing, y'all? What is Monet doing? I know she better put that finger down pointing at an officer like that. We take that as a threat where I'm from. What is Monet doing? She making demands like, nah, you need to get Felicia, you didn't handle this. Don Carter like, wait a minute. You definitely not about to talk to me any old kind of way. I ain't your kids. I ain't Lorenzo. I ain't Mecca. I ain't none of them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Hey. She summoned Carter. She got them hands on them hips too. She confused. Who authorized this damn stomp out? Do I think Nico will flip on Don's IAB because he now realized he on the live Kamal? Nah, man, because he dirty too, man. I think, well, we know that I was about to say Kamal. Well, Kamal did tell Don about Nico. So they all have dirt on each other, just like they had the dirt, he had the dirt on Felicia stomping out Diana. No, I don't think Monet recovering. Monet got them hands on her hips. She confused. She trying to figure out what the fuck going on. But Don Carter checked her though. Don Carter told her, you ain't about to be talking to me like that. Young said Felicia gonna flip on Don. Felicia ain't doing no flipping. You got to flip her body. You had to flip Felicia over. Felicia, she like a burnt pancake right now, and she ain't flipped over in a while. Monet talking about, you got to fix this. Don said, who the fuck are you talking to? My dog Eric wouldn't let Don talk to him this old kind of way. So they meet up. But after this, Don goes straight to Felicia. Felicia pulls up. What's up, Don? What's up, baby? It's our summer. Gator. Don said, no time for that. No handshakes today. Felicia, what the fuck are you doing? So what are you talking about, Don? Diana. Did you know she was pregnant? No, I didn't. Why did you whoop on her like that? Oh, when did you start caring? He said, man, get in the car. We are all jeopardized right now. We are all at risk. So they hop in the car and she's like, well, I got something else to show you. And she shows the footage of Tariq and Brayden in there unaliving Zion in the safe house, and it's recorded. Now, this is the only recording. And he's like, I told you to handle that situation. She's like, yeah, well, I told Diana, and Diana told Tariq. He's like, oh my gosh.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
Felicia on that stuff too. When you on that, hey, you ain't got to admit that you're a user or anything. But if anybody's ever experimented with the stuff that Felicia and Brayden are on, do you just forget everything? Are you just like out your mind? Like after 1 or 2 lines? I could probably do like 3, 4 lines and I think I'd be all right. But they do like one little bump and forget everything. It's just like, well, fuck it. Fuck it. Brayden grabbed a knife. She done went, Diana, you need to do this for like, oh my God. Like, I don't know what the hell's going on, man. I don't know who can we depend on in this show, man? Everybody get on that shit and be forgetting what the hell going on. So now Don Carter, he's like, I'm gonna keep the phone. He didn't say I'm gonna keep the file. He kept her phone. She's like, well, I had IAB on me, internal affairs, and I couldn't do nothing, so I had to have Diana do it. He's like, all right, fuck it. All right. We'll figure it out. Go home and don't talk to anybody. That's always the answer. Go home and don't talk to nobody. I wonder, did they know Whitman? Like, all right, go home and don't talk to nobody. She's like, all right, I will. All right, I'll do that. I'll do that. Of course, we know Diana was falling. Now from there, we got the raid on the house. Now when they show up to the house, Nico's like, hey, Don, we should probably get like some backup before we go in here. Of course, like, man, you look at this place and we going against the Russians. Remember, we just had a huge shootout with the Russians. We need all the security, all the backup. Yeah, I said security. We need security to secure us. We need all the help we can get. But they go in here. Open the door. NYPD. Bow, bow. They get to shooting. There was a naked girl in there too. I was like, whoa, what they got going on in here? Let me see. Do we got that? I can't show it on the screen, but you know, they had like a naked girl in there. I said, whoa, what kind of party is this? They come in, pop, pop, pop. They catch old boy in the living room, pants down, pop, pop, pop. Gotta go. They got this dude in the hallway, pop, pop, pop. Gotta go. Then Don Carter sneaks in the back. Old boy was trying to get up out there, man. had his finger slammed in the window. I remember I had my finger slammed in a 72 color Supreme. My first car that I ever had, but when I was a kid, it was my dad's car. And then he ended up giving it to me once I got older. My sister used to drive it to school. You know, she graduated in what, 92, 93 or something like that. So she was riding that motherfucker loud as hell. Couldn't sneak out the house at all. But I had my finger slammed in the door, leaving one of my dad's baseball games. Boy, let me tell you, that shit hurt. I didn't break no fingers or nothing. But this damn window slides down. Bow. Don Carter looks at him. He's like, you got to go. Whack! Right in the noggin. And then Don Carter fires that weapon and he puts it in his hand. So now, what up, Elder? So now the body of Kamal Tate, we found the murderer, y'all. But Nico comes in and Nico's like, hey, yo, what the fuck you got going on? He's like, man, he fired on me. We gonna write the report. He fired on me. I returned fire, bang, bang. I shot you down. Nico's like, I was all right with the robbing and shit, but man, what are you doing in here? Like, man, don't worry about it. We write the report. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove. Nico's looking like, damn, bro. Like, so what we gonna say? He broke his hand and like punching at you. How we gonna jazz this up? Just write the report. So Nico is starting to realize, like, okay, but man, this shit don't seem right. But the good thing is, we found the killer. Right here. This guy unalive Kamal Tate. I'm glad we got him off the streets. Don't y'all feel? Put a 5 in the chat if you feel safe. Put a 6 in the chat if you feel like the streets need another body. I feel safe right now. We found the murderer. You know what I mean? We found the murderer. Oh, wait, that ain't safety. I feel safe now. We got the murderer off the street. Kamal Tate has got justice. Rashad wished that he could have been the one to pull that wham, bam, wham. And then he spit on the body. But he said, you know what, Don Carter? You're a man of integrity. You told me this morning you weren't going to stop till you found the killer. These freaking Russians are running wild in these streets. Thank you, Don Carter. We're going to get you a medal. We're going to get you an award. We're going to get your name engraved into the police station Hall of Fame. I bleed blue. You bleed blue. Thank you for your service. Don Carter's like, you know, Kamal was a good man. And I'm really that's heartfelt right there. Because Don Carter, whether you guys like him or not, you know, we know you guys are always screaming F12. You know, ain't that what you youngsters say? F12, fuck the police coming straight from the under. Listen, this is Don Carter's story, and Don did exactly what he said he was going to do. Don said we weren't stopping until we find this murderer. Don not only found the murderer, he brought him in. He let Rashad Tate know that you were my brother at one time. Kamal was my brother. And we're not going to let the riffraff rip and run around these streets like they own the damn place. That's not what we're going to do. And if that means taking one bad guy down at a time, then so be it. But the only way you can get to 100 is if you start with one. And one murderer is better than no murderers off the street. So until you guys understand what Don Carter is going through, pushing it to the limit, sacrificing his life, pushing his body to the extremes that we've never seen in the human body or in human evolution, Don Carter is the future. Because of what he did today, you have a better tomorrow. That's why they told us, I believe the children are our future, because what you do today affects your tomorrow. And remember, there will never be another day like today. There will always be a tomorrow. Don Carter is a man of the people. Serve, protect, justice, integrity, service before self. We haven't seen too many men like this, especially black men. We need more that will get out there, make the streets safer by any means necessary. You got Davis ripping and running around the streets, chasing skirts, Tariq, baby mama drama. This man, Don Carter, lost his wife and he made a vow to the city. He took an oath. I, Don Leroy Carter, will do my damnedest to save these New York streets. I, Don Leroy Carter, will lead the task force. I, Don Leroy Carter, will not stop until every criminal is put behind bars. Don Carter not only stood on business, he's a man of his word. And all we got is our word and our balls. And we seen that he got both. As they would say, big cojondos. That's what the Tejadas would say. I'm not Spanish, so it's big balls, but we're not gonna say big balls. But since this is an award ceremony, we can say this gentleman right here, this is the true definition of a police officer. There is no other officer in the power universe that who has sacrificed more time and hours than Don Carter. We've only seen Don Carter for 6 episodes. And from the moment we seen him, he promised Paz that he's gonna get Tariq off these streets. He's gonna avenge Junior, and that's all he's been doing, is putting his best foot forward. So we're not gonna sit and act like Don Carter isn't a man of the people. Don Carter isn't doing this for himself. He's doing this for you. He's doing this for you. He's doing this for you and you and you. Don Carter. If I didn't know any better, fuck it, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Don Carter for governor. Don Carter for governor. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I'm just gonna throw his name out there. Don Leroy Carter for governor. I've seen nothing like this since Rudy Giuliani. There's never been anybody like this. Rudy Giuliani was the first, and now we got Don Leroy Carter. The
FBI. Yeah, this the FBI.
That's Carter's cousin right there. Y'all remember this guy?
The FBI. Yeah, this the FBI.
Don Carter's cousin. 2 amazing officers. 2 amazing officers. DeMarcus, thank you for that $5, brother. This is going to the Don Leroy Carter campaign. How do you think Carter and Sachs will work together? Wonderfully. When you got someone that's taking their job as serious as Don Carter, when you got someone that's willing to prosecute these criminals to the fullest extent of the law as Cooper Sachs would, then I think this is an untouchable duo. You know, this duo is, dare I say it, Shaq and Kobe. Should I say Jokic and Murray? I'd take it even further. I'd take it even one further. Dirk Nowitzki and the Jet. I don't know, man. Don Carter is a man. Don Carter is a man doing God's work, and that's all we can ask. That's all we can ask. When a police officer gets up and puts that badge on, you want them to be like Don Carter. You want them to go to their job and crack some skulls. You want them to tell the drug dealers to stop dealing drugs to the innocent. What did he do? He cleaned it up. And what is he also doing? On the ground, motherfuckers. He goes and gets Drew out of jail. Look, he gets Drew out of jail. If you're innocent, he'll get you out of jail. If you are innocent, he will get you out of jail. He gets Drew out of jail just like that. Drew, for matter of fact, who put the handcuffs on Drew? The same guy that stole money from the Russians. The same guy that we thought may have unalived Kamal Tate. Nico. Nico locked Drew up. Don Carter realized that Drew was wrongfully arrested and he came and got him out of jail. He came and got him. Hey, Drew, you were wrongfully accused. I'm going to get you out of jail and I'm going to take you to your mom. Drew is over here like, man, I'm trying to protect my mom and sister. He said, get in the car. Let's go get them. Let's go protect your mom and sister. So Don Carter, he's just misunderstood. People haven't been really looking at his story. Like, they just been looking from the outside in. I'm like, no. When you look at it from Don Carter's perspective, this man is doing everything he's supposed to do. He swore in as an officer of the law to serve and protect. And he said, hey, Drew was wrongfully arrested. Let me get Drew out of jail. So when he goes and grabs Drew, he's like, let's go get your mom. Let's take him to your mom. They go over there, and this is where him and Drew, they got to clean up their act. They got to clean up the shit that the Tejadas done got into. Who unalived the cop? Because I seen the chat. I seen the chat, and people were talking about maybe Don Carter unalived Kamal Tate. Where was this energy at? Where was this energy at for, what's her name? What's the young lady's name? Why is there a different set of rules for people? Weren't you guys just celebrating what this young lady Diana did? People were saying that Diana was the MVP. Felicia got what she deserved. So unaliving a cop is all right. You guys tried to wrongfully accuse Don Carter. We found the murderer of Kamal Tate. It was a Russian. Y'all wrongfully accused Don Carter. You see how a black man got it out here? Y'all wrongfully accusing Don Carter when we found the actual murderer. But when Diana did what she did to Felicia, everybody, it's amazing. She was supposed to do that. Felicia had to go. Why is it a double standard? The black man is so ridiculed when all he's doing is serving and protecting. That's it. He ain't doing nothing. He ain't doing nothing. He didn't expect to put his badge on and go to work today for his partner to be unalived by some thug. Murderer. Oh, Diana, you're a murderer. Auntie Nose Kitchen, thank you for that $4.99. Mo, I'm donating my bell pepper funds because I've laughed so hard. You guys shouldn't be laughing right now. Thank you for that $4.99. Y'all should not be laughing right now. This is some serious shit. Felicia is stanking in the kitchen because of Diana. Don Carter shows up and Don Carter pulls up with a gun and he sees one of his members of his task force on the floor dead. And Monet got a gun in her hand. He gotta arrest these fools. On the ground, niggas. Who did it? Who did it? And this whole time we've been cheering for the Tejadas. These are some ruthless thugs, man. And Don Carter said, y'all going down for this. You know what? Me and Drew gonna clean this up. Y'all get out of here because right now he's so heartbroken and he doesn't want to throw he don't want to throw his own skin folk behind bars. He just got Drew out of jail. So the family's already going through enough. He said, I don't want to throw them in jail. But he might have to because these thugs didn't kill Felicia. And well, with all that being said, Don Carter is a crooked cop. Don Carter said, I'm going to put this shit on all y'all unless y'all niggas give me some information on Noma. Shout out to Don Carter, man. Don Carter is a good guy, man. But shit, man, he knee deep in the game, man. There we go. That's the admin story. That's the admin story. Don Carter's a bad mofo. Shut your mouth. Don Carter's a bad man. Jacory said the end of the show didn't make no sense. Nah, so the end of the episode is Don Carter showing up with Drew. Drew took out Roman for him in order to get protection for Diana and Monet. Now, at this point, we got the footage of Zion. Felicia is unalive. Felicia was already about to get in trouble. Felicia would have ended in the big picture. Felicia would have brought down the whole task force. So Don Carter is upset that the body is done for, but it also helps him out. But he's using that as leverage because remember, the only way Don Carter is making it out in these streets, he's making busts and he's getting that money. But Monet was covering up for Noma, and he just now found out that Noma is the one that they were working with because they were looking for the money that was stolen. That's what Kane was doing, but it was actually stolen by Nico. Now, he does know that Nico was the one that took the money because Kamal Tate told him before he unalived him. So now he has Drew, and he's like, Drew's going to work for me. Y'all got to work for me and get this damn Noma. The reason he has them working for him to get Noma is because remember, they don't have a connect. The last thing that Drew and Monet did before they worked with Don Carter was steal the supply. So they don't have a connect. They got to work for Noma. So he's not getting any money in the street. Why? Zion is gone. He was taxing Zion. He was taxing Monet and Drew, but they don't have any money and Zion's dead. So he has to get leverage on Noma so he can use whatever money that she's making, get his money. And if all else fails, turn her ass in. And now he looks like the hero. So it makes sense. You see what I'm saying? Like, you gotta look at it because it's everybody getting put together, but he needs them because he has nothing going for him right now. And if they don't work it out, then he's gonna put the murder on all three of them. So that's why he told Tariq in the end, like, hey, nigga, you need to be focused, bro. Because if not, you got a lot to lose. I know about you.
I knew you was gonna let that nigga hit.
Tariq?
We raised you better than that, Diana.
Tariq.